This dude Lil Dell is wild. He basically copied TK and went on the run after pulling up on the Opps and shooting the rocket. It's a crazy story. Let's get straight to it. He's a rapper on the rise, known for tracks like Everybody Else and No Talking. He dropped a project called Bro Way or No Way back in December 2020 with another Pensacola rapper named Fredo, who recently got killed. Lil Dell was from the Bro Gang, and they mainly beefed with the Cash Gang. The local sheriff's office said that the beef between these two gangs is linked to like 22 other shootings, and they've been tearing up the city of Pensacola for the last few years. The beef first started back in 2017 after an incident at the Pensacola Interstate Fair, and ever since then, these two gangs been on each other's neck. State Attorney Bill Eddins said that these are loosely organized groups of young children that are either juveniles or very young teenagers. They're like an amoeba. They move and they shift and they change. They're not organized, but still very dangerous. So look, even though they was just a small local gang, that ain't mean they wasn't deadly. The Bro Gang was already on the radar of the police way before any murders had even gone down. But in May 2019, Lil Dell and the Bro Gang made headlines after a shooting in the parking lot at a local nightclub that left an innocent person dead. The shooting took place during Memorial Day weekend in 2019. I guess Lil Dell and his homies got intel that they Opps from Cash Gang was gonna be at a local spot called the Platinum Nightclub, and the Bro Gang pulled up looking for trouble. So check, they got to the club at like 2 a.m., rolling deep and ready for Opps. They supposedly had like 7 burners on them, and once they spotted their target, they started firing before smashing off. Police later found 44 shells on the scene that came from 9 millis, 40 cals, and 380 cal pistols. Believe it or not, even after busting 44 shots, they ain't even hit their target. Instead, a stray bullet hit 20-year-old Elizabeth Harris, who was brought to the hospital and later died. Police was on the scene fast, like minutes after the shooting, but the Bro Gang was long gone. So police launched a big investigation and found out pretty quickly that the shooting was all because of the deadly beef between the Cash Gang and the Bro Gang. So they went after all the members that they thought was responsible. It took them a few months, but police later arrested 3 suspects: 18-year-old Taquan Warren, 17-year-old Marquisha James, and 19-year-old Dante Walker. But they were still on the lookout for one more suspect, Mr. Cordelius Diaz, aka Lil Dell. And just like TK, he did the race and was on the run from the police. In the meantime, James and Warren was both charged with first-degree felony murder, attempted murder, and aggravated assault. Walker got charged with accessory after the fact for riding in the whip with the gang after the shooting took place. On top of Lil Dell, police thought there was still more suspects involved, so the investigation stayed open. Once they arrested the other suspects, someone started snitching. One suspect allegedly told police that Lil Dell ain't just fired no regular weapon. This dude brought a real-life rocket launcher with him. That's pretty crazy, but he was trying to take Cash Gang off the map for real. They said he got the rocket launcher from one of his boys and tried to fire it at the club, but it was a misfire. But other reports say it actually went off and either hit the victim's car or a car close to it. So police charged Lil Dell with firing a deadly missile, first-degree murder, aggravated assault, and criminal mischief. This dude Lil Dell brought a whole rocket launcher to the club for his Opps. So you really think he was gonna go out easy and just turn himself in? He pulled a TK and did the race, leaving the state of Florida and ducked off somewhere in Georgia. But being a teenage rapper and not having too many ways to maintain, all while trying to stay low-key, made it pretty hard for Lil Dell to stay on the run. But he was a little smarter than TK and ain't dropped no viral songs, knowing police was trying to find him. But turns out, he ain't even had to snitch on himself because they tracked him down and arrested him in Cobb County, Georgia after about 2 months of doing the race. He was hiding out in a small town called Austell in Georgia when police found him. He got arrested by the Cobb County Sheriff's Office and the U.S. Marshals Southeast Regional Fugitive Task Force at the Wynwood Apartments. They originally had him in Cobb County Jail, but later sent him back to Pensacola for his trial in November. He was held on a $223,000 bond, which seems like he posted without a problem, because he was on Instagram Live in the studio working on new music just a few months ago. But Lil Dell should have took notes from TK and learned that just because you do the race, don't mean you're gonna win. And in most cases, you ain't even gonna make it to the finish line. These days, police got all this new high-tech surveillance equipment and ways to track you down that it's damn near impossible to escape them forever. Your best bet is going to a whole different country that ain't got as many surveillance cameras and cell phone towers that's gonna give away your location. But being an up-and-coming rapper with few connections outside of his own hood, this probably wasn't possible for Lil Dell. Even though he's free right now, I'd say it probably won't be long before Lil Dell gets locked up for a long, Long time. Pensacola police been cracking down on this case, more so because it got the attention of hip-hop media, so they're gonna try their best to use him as an example and possibly have him sitting down for the rest of his life. Especially if what they saying about the rocket launcher is true. Because not only did he fire into a parking lot full of people, but then he pretty much admitted he was guilty by trying to flee. Plus, the fact that he was just an up-and-coming rapper who wasn't really known outside of his city until this whole situation happened, he probably ain't got the money or connections to hire a good lawyer. So honestly, it ain't really looking too good for Lil Dell. But man, look, that's the risk you take when you decide to do the race. If he just turned himself in, he might have had a better chance of copping a plea deal that would have kept him from spending his life behind bars. But now, it's gonna be way harder for his lawyers to prove he's innocent.